I have, yes. We actually talk. He's in our Discord server. I used to know him as Griffin a long while back. And I keep having this ingoing joke, just like, why did you change? You should have just stayed as Griffin.
He's Fandroid now.
Yeah, I know. It's so hard to adjust.
Deal with it.
It's so hard to adjust to. He's a really cool guy, though.
Shout out to Fandroid Music. Check him out.
Yes, beforehand, like, we discussed about his Devil Swing thing, and I did like a little cover for him on that one. Originally we had Caleb Piles doing it. We're all kind of in this little group, so we all know each other very well, so it was an honor hearing that.
And secondly, what was the most time-consuming song to make?
Time-consuming was Gospel of Dismay. Because that, again, took a whole month to do. Like, I had a whole basis, but I wasn't proud of it, because a sequel is always supposed to be something supposed to be better than the first one. And there was a lot of pressure added onto it, so I was like, I wasn't happy with this structure, so I turned it around, left, right, and center. What do you know? It turns out to be a really good one, so I was really proud of that one. That's the longest detail.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Hey,
what happened earlier with me pulling the attention to myself rather than the person asking the question, I just want to apologize for that.
Don't worry.
It's really
It's all good.
Hashtag not sponsored by Starbucks.
Starbucks coffee.
Hashtag life goals.
What are your least favorite songs that you've produced?
Oh.
It's Time to Die and I Stayed Eternal.
It's time to die. I think the least favorite one I produced was a very old one that I made. There was two Brony songs that I made. One of them was the one about Trixie that I made a long time ago. That was such a rush. And one about a donkey that I forgot the name of, but it was such a rush also. Don't make songs about donkeys, guys. Learn from my mistakes. That was a fun answer.
Afternoon to everyone here.
Yo, what's up?
Before I ask, Tombstone, do you remember last year at Denny's you found a really crazy band at a very late night?
Yeah. Wait, what? Hold on.
Remember last year you met a fan at Denny's? Very crazy?
At Denny's, right? Yeah, I remember outside of Denny's with... Yeah, now I remember. Okay.
That's me.
That's you?
Hello.
Hello, should I run away or should I...
No.
Should I stay or should I go?
What coffee did I drink today?
Coffee, Starbucks.
The judge says I'm free.
Okay, so sorry, what's the question?
The question was, which song, for both of you guys, which song drove you the most insane or stressed out? Pull your hair out.
It's Time to Die. It's Time to Die.
I like that answer. It's time to die.
Guess I'll die.
Songs that pull my hair down. At that time, and I'm sorry for being, I was naive and I was like, oh, I heard the Discord song, it's everywhere. Oh my god, the Discord remix. But now I'm like, I appreciate a lot of my songs and I'm happy that each one kind of like taught me a different way. So I really don't have anything against my music. Probably the only one that kind of drove me insane at the time was the Astef movie song that I wrote, like Tom's Dog.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, this is everywhere. Stop. But that's probably the song.
I wouldn't hate It's Time to Die too much, just for the fact that like it got us a reach, it got us through the door, which was like a really good song to choose. Apparently people seem to like it, so I was like, yay. So I've got that to thank for, but otherwise the process was a bit more emotional than it should have been. And yeah,
That answers your question.
Thank you.
no problem.
Hey guys, thank you for taking the time to come out and do a Q&A.
No problem.
We're always doing cool.
Always here.
I'm actually from Pittsburgh, PA, and my fiance and I are really big fans of yours, so I kind of wanted to come down and see you guys and visit a friend of mine, so that's why I'm here.
Really happy to.
Shout out to Pittsburgh, PA. Awesome place.
I wanted to know what kind of helps you guys keep going whenever you get discouraged, because I'm trying to kind of bring myself back into the music scene currently, so.
Plenty of friends.
Friends, and I have actually some good advice for that. Now I forget what was the advice. Hold on. No. I have a good answer. Okay, so the way it works is that you get discouraged, and the way I saw myself to getting discouraged often is by letting my head too much revolve myself with things that I know I cannot solve. So, for example, if you have something in your head that you're like remembering from elementary or high school, that just embarrassing moment that just takes you down. And this happens to me a lot, where I'm like remembering a crappy moment from elementary, and I'm like, I don't want to do anything now. So I try to remember, to kind of like playing mental gymnastics, where I'm like, telling myself like, look, these memories right now don't help me. There's nothing in it that could like, put me forward. And I know it's important to reflect on them, but if it's not gonna help me do anything, then I cannot bother, thinking about them for too long, and I need to sometimes use them as a way to tell myself, maybe I can turn this into art or something like that. Sometimes that's what makes songs really good, is that you take something from you that's personal and you reflect them back into art and everything. So you tell yourself, you start working on something, and even if it's not a complete product, like sometimes I would open FL Studio and I would just doodle stuff, like how a guitarist would play this guitar, just improvise. Doesn't have to be a complete work, and that's what's very important with artists that want to train. Like right now, I make music, but I'm right now training myself to do art, and I suck at it. But what I do is what a lot of artists do in the beginning, is just doodle circles and doodle a lot of stuff, just get their hand running proper. And that's what I'm doing, and I'm doing this with FL Studio, and I think that's really important, is to always get yourself doing that, because if you stop, and that happened to me, getting back on the horse is so difficult. Hopefully that
somebody
helps.
else experiences that.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I've always found that like absence makes the heart grow fonder. So like a lot of people have like noticed me go on breaks quite a little bit, primarily because I've been like convention after convention after convention, which I always find like community-driven places are always what make me smile, because like I think you can relate, we're always just cooped up in one office. We just never really get to go out to places and see the human reaction of people. So like, when we go to these sort of communities, I mean, this is far from the community that I would normally be at, but you put in a really nice word for me, so thank you, buddy. But I actually said this yesterday, I'm actually like, really starting to enjoy anime, and I'm sort of like really breaching in. My Hero Academia is my favorite one. But essentially, I go to these community-driven places and places where my friends would be because I found them through my medium. So like whenever I feel like I've had writer's block for the past 2 months, I've been to like 2 conventions so far, and they've completely got me back on track again. Because it's just involving yourself a bit, and also like on the internet, it's really, really hard to not find someone that's the same interests as you. With things like Discord now, and they do more things than what Skype could have ever done, which is like small little minute group places. It's like a public forum, so I use Discord, I use my fan server quite a lot, and I've got my own friend server and a member server, just to kind of like bounce off of somebody's chemistry, because when you're stuck by yourself, it's really hard to communicate with somebody other than your hands or your legs or whatever. So I've always found being around people is great. Absence from a certain medium to, as Yoav says, focusing on something else is always really good as well to keep the spirits going. So for a while last year, I did DA games for a bit, and I was like, oh no, I'm getting really tired of this. I'm going to move over to Twitch. So I used Warnade as like a secondary Twitch thing, where it's like, no flying, whatever. It's just do whatever you want there. It's like the high school prom I was never allowed to go to. And then after a few months or so, I was just like, I'm starting to miss it now. And the more I missed it, the more I came back, I was really kicked into high gear. It's like a refresher. It's always nice to take little breaks. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. And as long as you've got a community around you, I think that's the best way it's going to push you forward.
Thank you guys so much.
It's no problem, Dave. Alright. We're a bit past 6, but we should be fine just,
No, nobody's come in
It's
yet,
okay,
so
it's okay.
yeah, we're just going to keep
No one's
going.
gonna kick us out just yet. Alright. Let's take questions, it's okay. We'll answer.
Hello.
Hello.
I promise I'm not stalking.
No, it's cool. Oh, if I'm stalking you.
How are you stalking fans?
Yeah, we're stalking you.
Don't do that. It's weird. Anyway.
Okay. So, if you're given the opportunity or forced by our company overlord, hashtag Starbucks, McDonald's,
Starbucks.
Sponsorships.
$5 per coffee.
which corporation would you make a song for?
Monster. Don't even have to think about it. I could say Razor. But
Is Monster good?
no. Lego.
I'd say Ubisoft actually.
Ubisoft, yeah.
Yeah, they're super nice. Like people who work with a lot of YouTubers, and I'd like to get the opportunity to do something with them.
Yeah.
I like Ubisoft, and because of their marketing thing. Not necessarily their games. Not every game of theirs is good, but I'm saying they're consistent about how they do marketing, and I like that.
He owns the rabbits and Rayman.
The rabbits, the were rabbits. See, there you go.
It's not like the word hard.
It's alright.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you to the living Tombstone, for the music that you put out. It's helped me get closer to my little brothers who are really, really into you. They love you a lot. They're playing you all the time I come home, and
Thank you. No, seriously, that's awesome. Thank you.
They couldn't come, unfortunately, so I was just wondering if you'd be able to say hi to them in video.
Yeah, hold on. Let me go to you real quick.
Oh, really?
Do I get there? Awesome.
Jump the table. Run, Forrest, run.
So what's the name?
Daniel and Samuel.
Daniel and Samuel. Daniel and Samuel. Okay. Hey, Daniel and Samuel. I am the living Tombstone. That's me, and that's my face. Look at me. You know, it's nice you can come, but I'm extending, you know, the love and friendship and everything to you guys. And thank you so much for listening to my music and keep being awesome. You know, because that makes me happy. Knowing that you're happy, listening to my music makes me happy. We're all happy. Thank you.
Hi.
Before I start my question, I want to say, TLT, your remixes always keep me always in a positive mood, every day, like even at school or anything else like that, even when I'm so sad. And Will, when I listen to As the Lights Go Out, I understand in the beginning what you meant and what you said. And by the end of the song, I was crying up a storm. Luckily, nobody was, never even noticed I was crying, so.
Just as you did, you went down.
But your songs.
You copying my tricks? Regret nothing!
Yeah, my regrets. Freeze each other. Freeze each other. Steady, steady, hook! Fire! Did you face each other? Did you already steady fire? Face each other, okay.
Okay, so my question is,
Yeah.
Will, what is it like when you work with the Living Tombstone, for example, like the Benny and Cushing song remix?
Terrible.
Okay, so at first I was like, oh my god! And then we went into Twitter, I was like, oh, this is okay.
It was actually really cool working with Will because I had such a weird, I listened to music and I was like, there's no way he sings like that. He's probably like adding effects on his vocals like I do because I suck. So what happens is that it's true. I'm not the perfect singer. But what happens is that Will sent me the vocal files because it's supposed to be a choir, and my friend Futula is the one vocal editing everything. He listens to it and was like, dude, Will is good. And then I came to see him live in Too Many Games, and I'm like, this dude is good. Oh my god. So working with him, at least in that perspective, was like, this is an opportunity waiting to happen that we are gonna make a song together, and it's gonna be fun.
It's been a lot of fun as like a first one, but like I remember
It was a small gig, but it was a gig that definitely made me appreciate Will a whole lot more than I expected.
I remember that I was like, well, that's me done, and I remember you saying to a fan, I was like, oh no, this is just the beginning. I'm like, huh?
Because now I'm trying to involve him in really big projects that is way bigger than you think. There's not just, I'm making a song on YouTube big. There's big projects big, and I cannot talk about them because, again, no jinxing and a lot of NDAs involved. Anyway, yeah.
Well, thank you for answering my question.
No
Thank
problem.
you for asking the question. That's awesome. Much love. I like stalking. Stalking's great. Pending stalking is the best show. Sorry.
Hi.
Hello.
So, this is a question for ZA Games.
Hello.
What was really going through your mind when you first saw Boris?
Hello.
What is going on in your mind, Will?
Okay, so chapter 2, I actually like. It's funny because when the Mealy gave me like the game, it was like, all right, you're gonna expect something at the very end.
Mealy gave me the game, get it? Because your name is the games. I am funny.
As you're funny.
At the beginning
Do you want to get the Starbucks?
Yes.
Do you want the Pepsi?
I'm shaking. But yeah, as far as like the beginning, when he was telling me about it, he's like, there's going to be a few plot twists, etc., that you might not expect. It's going to be a really difficult game. At the very end, I was just like, he was like, I know you're in there, show yourself. I was like, I thought it was the Bendy Demon. I thought it may have like gone past. I'm like, oh, this isn't scary. This is just a climax ending. So I just took the drink. And then when Boris came,
Sign your name. Sign your.
I was like, but he's dead, isn't he? like he was on that tune. So I'm just like, it just all instantly blew my mind, and it's the only spit take that ever happened in my entire life. It was the craziest thing in the world, but it was fun. It was fun, and I had a long amount of hours trying to get that monster out of my shirt because like it just spilled everywhere. It was very good.
And also tell Riff/Fandroid game to play Portal. Really needs to play.
Portal.
Yes.
Wait,
Portal is good. The two games that came out.
No. Who?
Both of them. Either one. I have no idea. Just tell them.
Portal 2 is really good.
You just told them to play Mario plus Rabbids.
I've got the first episode of Mario Rabbids up. I've got like 2 more.
You're plugging yourself. Shout out to my Echo Remix. Check it out now. Available in Spotify and Starbucks. Anyway. Alright, here you go. What's up?
Who's your favorite YouTuber?
Game Grumps. Jake Paul. Alex Jones.
Combine together.
Dab on the haters. Wait, don't. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, my favorite YouTuber right now is Daniel from SL. I really like him. You guys don't know who Daniel from SL is? It's like, okay, what did you got? Sorry, was I being loud? You were like plugging your ears. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll be less loud. You're shaking. Okay, to quickly answer who Daniel from SL is a funny YouTuber who does a lot of he does Let's Plays, but what he does, he kind of like goes to random people in communities like Second Life where he tries to talk to them and he just trolls them, and he trolls them in such a way that gets really funny reactions from them, and he's great. So search Daniel from SL and it's really, really funny.
He's remarkable.
Alright, let's do the last question. Hello.
Hello. So, first of all, before I start my question, I'm kind of mad because my panel goes with your panel. We do your concert right next door to mine.
Oh.
And mine's the Bendy Ink Machine panel.
Oh.
I'm hiding.
No, am I just like...
I'm facing each other. It's okay.
I'm like Adam West just going under here.
I'm sorry.
West.
Anyway. So
come out when everybody's gone.
Alright. Apologies where they are.
Apologies, sorry.
And what's the question?
Besides yourselves, who is your favorite artist?
I really like Tennyson, Tennnyson. Really cool people. I really like System of a Down, and I really like my mom and dad. Starbucks.
I like my current roster of thumbnail artists. Aya, who's down there, who's my thumbnail artist, and Keyframe Productions, who does some of the thumbnails. There's 2 others, Tia Punky. I don't know if any of you know, she's on the Deviant Art Central. And there's, okay, if you guys know of like these guys called 8-Bit Gaming, yes, they have Bazamalam, who has one of the moderators, does like a lot of fan art. They gave us quite a lot of fan art, and then that person as well, you know, Chloe, you know. Annalise is the name, so that's another one.
And after the panel, do you think I could get like a video with you two talking?
Of course.
I also got something to give to you, because you're the last person to ask a question, so you get the Starbucks cup this time. So you get it.
Get the Starbucks.
Sell it or leave it, we'll see how much we get.
Well then.
So what was the last thing? What do you wanted to do?
It was the artist thing. That was, wait.
What? No, you wanted to do something.
That was it.
Is that the panel?
Yeah, that's the panel, guys.
That's the show?
That's the panel, guys. And now, okay, so basically, since the panel is now complete, in 2 hours, I'm going to be at a concert with Caleb Hiles. It's in the Chelsea.
There's the
HBG room 210. It's upstairs.
Go see that, and we're also going to be part of a very stupid panel at 10:30 called Q+A Interactive Guest Game Show for 18+. It's stupid, and they invited every guest in the con to do it. So come see it because you'll see how stupid this is. So it's gonna
So
be
if
good.
any of you guys want quick pictures and just
We'll do it outside. We'll do it
all the way
outside.
out there.
So
we'll
we
see
don't
you guys there.
exactly. Oh, shout out to my Twitter @Living Tombstone. Shout out to his Twitter @DiaGamesOfficial. Let's do it. Bye.